Okay, friends, let's start with the session today. Today, specifically, we are going to see how the vector quantities are multiplied. Okay, so when I'm talking about vectors, you want to correlate it to some physical quantities. You can correlate it to force because force is a vector quantity, velocity is a vector quantity, acceleration is a vector quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. All these vector quantities they can be expressed in three dimensions in form of unit vectors along x, y and z axis. So we all know the unit vector along x axis is denoted by I cap, unit vector along y axis is denoted by j cap, and unit vector along z axis would be denoted by k cap, friends. Now let's once again have a quick recall about how a vector would be represented in three dimensions so far as the multiplication is concerned. So let's understand this. Okay. So in two-dimensional mode, let's talk about the two-dimensional case first. That means only x and y axis. If a vector a bar is to be represented along x, that is I cap, and along y, that is j cap, then we put it as, okay. So let's understand. So ax and ay are the x and y components of a. So how we place vector a bar in terms of ax and ay. So let's understand this, very crucial and interesting. So a bar, which is vector a bar in this case, in two-dimensional case, would be represented as ax I cap, which will give the direction along x-axis, plus ay j cap. But if you are putting a vector sign on this, that means I is not needed at this moment. The moment you remove the vector sign, that is an arrow on its head, you will be utilizing the components like I cap and j cap, okay, over here. So let's see how it is represented. So let it be say equation 1. So can I say then in that case how we represent I cap? We have seen it is ax bar divided by ax, basically. Here it's wrongly mentioned. So ax bar is a vector and ax is the magnitude, you can say, or a is the magnitude in this case. Okay, so here you can see along the direction. Similarly, okay, yeah. So ax in this case would be given as ax into I cap. So what is to be corrected over here is instead of this a y being the suffix, it should have been ax only. So when you shuffle it in terms of ax bar, you get it as ax dot I cap, or here you can say into I cap. So now instead of ax bar, here in this equation 1, I can substitute it as ax I cap, because if I remove the bar, then I cap, which is the unit vector along x-axis, would be denoting the direction along x-axis. Similarly, we can work it out for ay bar also in the similar case, similar situation. But then ay bar then can be similarly represented as, can see, it will be ay. Yeah. Similarly, it can be represented as ay would be represented as, friends, check out, ay into j cap. Why j cap? Because j cap is the unit vector along y axis. I cap is the unit vector along x axis. So if a bar is to be represented in two dimensions, that is along x and y, then it will be represented as ax bar plus ay bar. Okay, and ax further can be written as ax I cap, and ay can further be written as ay j cap, where I cap and j cap are the unit vectors along x and y axis respectively. Now on this slide, the only correction which you have to make is instead of this ay, it should have been ax. Okay, it's a typological error, so correct that later on. So then when I know the value of ax and ay, I will just put it in equation 1 so that the vector a bar is being represented, friends. So let's understand it. You can see it's not ay again. Okay, it's only a. A bar will be then represented as ax I cap plus ay j cap, friends. Again, there are two errors on this slide. You can see here, instead of ay it should have been only a, whereas here instead of ay it should be only a. So y should not be the suffix, because we are putting the values of ax and ay in equation 1, which would be represented in this manner, right? Either से सिर्फ y निकाल दो ये. Okay, here also the same thing has been continued, I believe, but we can always put it. Okay, so this is how you put a bar in terms of two dimensions, that is ax and ay. If the same thing has to be represented in three dimensions, then there will be one more term coming into picture, and that will be az. Now az has to be represented in terms of k cap, where k cap is the unit vector along z axis, which we all know as per our previous sessions. So in three dimensions, a bar will be then represented as, okay, here the same mistake is being continued. So instead of ay, here it should have been a. Here also instead of ay, it should have been a. So a vector a represented in three dimensions as, you can see, ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap, where I cap, j cap and k cap, as per our discussion, they are the unit vectors along x, y and z axis, friends. Okay, so this is how a vector is being represented. So in totality, if there has to be some correction made on this slide, to understand those corrections clearly. Okay, they are typological errors. Instead of ay over here, it should have been only a. Then here instead of ay, it should have been only a. Then instead of ay over here, it should have been only a. Okay, so correction points: point number 1, point number 2 and point number 3. Only 3 corrections over here. So this is a way we represent any vector, say a bar, in 3 dimensions. Now in our problems, this a bar can be a force vector represented by f bar. It can be a displacement vector represented by s bar. It can be, you see, it can be a velocity vector represented by v bar. So all these quantities are to be represented in 3 dimensions, friends. So this is how you represent a vector. Now why I am showing you this? Because now we need to operate these vectors. Okay, we need to add these vectors. We need to multiply these vectors. We need to subtract these vectors. So whenever the case was about addition and subtraction, we have studied the laws like law of triangle addition, parallelogram law and polygon law in greater details in the previous sessions. So hopefully you have revised those slides before we move ahead towards multiplication, friends. So before I move ahead towards multiplication, please let me know if you have noted down this slide. So give me the feedback so that we can move ahead. Yeah, so most of you say done. Okay, so good. So I assume that you are done with this. So now let's move ahead to a very crucial concept which would be asked in entrance as well as your examination, college examinations also, friends. This is the technique which is to be learnt here itself. Yeah, so most of you are giving me the feedback in the chat section as done. Okay, so taken, your feedback is taken, friends. So let's move ahead then. Okay, so let me tell you, there are two ways of multiplying vectors. Today we are going to see the first way. Tomorrow we will see the second way to multiply vectors. The first way of multiplying vectors, we call it as scalar product or dot product. So I'll just show you that. First way of multiplying two vectors is called as scalar products. The other name for it is dot product. Now, how do we define a scalar product? Let's try and understand this. So it is defined as the product of magnitude. Say for example, a bar and b bar are the two vectors in our consideration, and say let the angle between the two vectors be theta. Okay, so the scalar product will be represented as a bar dot b bar. Again, remember how I am representing it, okay? Because the moment you represent it in different way, it will be considered as wrong, okay? The scalar product is represented as a bar dot b bar, okay? So there is a dot over here, you can see, okay? So therefore this scalar product is also called as dot product, okay? So how it will be different from the second type of multiplication, but understanding the second type of multiplication is a later stage. Today we want to concentrate on the first type of multiplication, and that is scalar product, where the product is represented as a bar dot b bar, and therefore the name of scalar product can also be dot product, okay? So let's understand how that is defined. So a bar dot b bar will be equal to product of the magnitude of the two vectors, that you can see a and b, the magnitude of the two vectors, and cosine of angle between them. So how you define scalar product or dot product? It is defined as the product of magnitude of the two vectors, you can see at the top, and cosine of angle between them. This is how you define dot product. Again, I repeat the definition for you people. The dot product or scalar product is defined as a bar dot b bar, defined as the product of magnitude of two vectors and cosine of angle between the two vectors. Okay, let's proceed then. Just before we proceed, please make a note of the slide and let me know once you're done with it. So here onwards, we will start analyzing scalar product in greater details. Okay, hopefully done. Let's move ahead then, friends. So now we know the definition for scalar product, okay? The product of the magnitude of two vectors and cosine of angle between them. So let's understand the characteristics of the scalar product, why it is called as scalar product. So the first thing is it will obey commutative law of multiplication. So when I say it's going to obey commutative law of multiplication, let's understand what it means. Okay. So when I say commutative law of multiplication, it means that you can change the order. Let's understand it this way, okay? Say for example, I say a bar dot b bar can be written as it is ab cos theta. Similarly, b bar dot a bar is also ba cos theta. So you can change the order. That means a bar dot b bar can also be written as b bar dot a bar. This type of law, we call it as commutative law of multiplication. You can just reverse the order. It's not going to affect the calculations. Okay, so this is the first characteristic of a scalar product, friends. Okay, so second characteristic, after obeying commutative law, it also obeys distributive law. That means how it gets distributed. Say, let's understand it in form of an equation. So a bar dot b bar plus c bar in bracket, you can say. Again, I'm saying a bar dot b bar plus c bar in bracket. That means a bar has to be distributed over b bar in terms of multiplication, and a bar has to be distributed over c bar. How it is done? Let's understand. This thing can be equated to a bar dot b bar plus a bar dot c bar. Now, if you can distribute it this way, such law is called as distributive law, and scalar product obeys distributive law, friends. Okay, so this is again an important characteristic which we have studied regarding scalar product. So two important characteristics regarding scalar product. First, it obeys commutative law. Second, it obeys distributive law. Hopefully you understand what it means. And more importantly, why it is called as scalar. Okay, we will talk about that also in the later stages. Please make a note of it and let me know before we try to understand the other characteristics of scalar product, friends. Yeah, so most of you say done. Okay, so let's move ahead then. Most of you say done. Okay, in the chat section. So hopefully sufficient time for you to take a note of this. So these are the two characteristics which one should remember. The first two characteristics of scalar product, that it obeys commutative law of multiplication and it also obeys distributive law. Let's proceed further. Yeah. Okay. Let's understand this. If two vectors are parallel to each other, in simple words, what can be the understanding regarding it? The angle between the two vectors will be zero. Why it would be zero? Because the two vectors are parallel to each other. Therefore, the angle between the two vectors will be zero. Then in that case, as I have said, the dot product or the other name for it is scalar product of the two vectors will be then given as, okay? Try and understand this analysis, very, very important, friends. As per our definition, when can the two vectors be parallel? When the vector is being multiplied with itself. So if a bar is multiplied with a bar, then we can say they are parallel and the angle between them is zero because they coincide. Either they are parallel or they coincide, and therefore the angle between them is zero. So a bar dot a bar, we also call it as self dot product, will be then given as per definition, magnitude of a, modulus में लिया है, multiplied by magnitude of a again, not b because it is a self dot product, and cosine of what angle? Zero. Now we all know what is cos zero. Cos zero is 1. So in this case, the dot product will be a bar dot a bar equal to magnitude of a multiplied by magnitude of a multiplied by cos of 0. Therefore, it will be a square. Okay, because cos 0 is 1 and then a into a will be a square. So self dot product will give you a square straight away. Now where you can apply this analogy, obviously, if for along x-axis, if the vectors are directed along x-axis, then their unit vectors would be also directed along x-axis. So then in that case, I cap dot I cap, so self dot product, right? Where I cap is the unit vector along x-axis. So I cap dot I cap, how you put it? So it will be magnitude of I cap multiplied by magnitude of I cap. And what's the angle between I cap and I cap? Then obviously it is 0, so cos 0. Now we all know one thing. What is I cap? Unit vector. So what is the magnitude of unit vector? 1. Again, what is the what is the magnitude of second unit vector, which is again I cap over here? 1. And what is the value of cos 0? Again 1. So 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1, ultimately you will get it as 1. So I cap dot I cap will be 1. Self dot product for unit vectors will be 1. Remember that. Second important thing. Similarly, I can say j cap dot j cap, friends, will be magnitude of j multiplied by magnitude of j. And obviously, what's the angle between j cap and j cap? 0. So it will be cos 0. So j cap dot j cap will be cos 0 here in this case. So cos 0 will be 1. J cap is again a unit vector. So magnitude of this unit vector will be 1. Magnitude of this unit vector will be 1. So 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. Again in this case also you can see the self dot product for j cap will be 1. What is j cap? J cap is the unit vector along y axis, friends. Let's move ahead. Let's talk about k cap. The similar way k cap dot k cap can be represented as k cap, magnitude of k cap multiplied by magnitude of k cap, and obviously the angle between k cap and k cap will be 0. So I can put it as cos 0, friends. So again, when I'm talking about the magnitude of k cap, which is a unit vector along z axis, then in that case you can see, if it is a unit vector along z axis, if k cap is a unit vector along z axis, it has, the magnitude has to be 1. So 1 multiplied by again the same magnitude of k cap is 1, and cos 0 is also 1. So here also you can see the dot product of k cap to k cap will be given as, you see, 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1, so ultimately 1. So self dot product is the square, a bar dot a bar, you get it as a square. You know the reason why. Similarly, I cap dot I cap, how it comes out to be 1, and j cap dot j cap, how it comes out to be 1. K cap dot k cap, how it comes out to be 1. This is something which is being shown on the slide. Very, very crucial calculation, friends. Time and again you would be requiring these calculations to solve any problem related to vectors. Okay, solving problems on vectors won't be a cakewalk unless and until you understand the uh, nitty gritty of the situations over here between the concepts. Okay, all right, friends. So can I say then, in general, if I want to correlate, I want to establish relationship between these operations, I can say I cap dot I cap will be equal to j cap dot j cap, which can be equated to k cap dot k cap, which is finally equal to 1. So this is a situation if two vectors are parallel to each other. That means the angle between the two vectors is 0. Then the dot product situations are being placed on in front of you on the slide. Please make a note of this situation. We have understood it to perfection, and let me know once you're done with it, so that I can discuss another case with you people. Yeah, most of you say done. Please ensure that you enter the classroom at the requisite time interval. Okay, you prepare all those things because very important. You miss something, especially Harshvardhan. You enter late, you won't understand what the things are going on. It's not theory. No, we are actually getting into crucial concepts, friends. So see to it
तर
that.
cos theta constant राहतं का?
Soham, you can ask me the question once again. Cos theta, what are you saying
सर
about cos theta?
cos theta 0 always constant असतो का? cos चा angle पण बदलतो?
Oh, बदलना ना, not necessarily it has to be 0. We are just working on a specific case where we say the vectors are parallel. Only when they are parallel, then only theta will be 0. If they are not parallel, obviously theta won't be 0. The situation would be different. This situation is only analyzed only for the two vectors being parallel.
Parallel. Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
so that's the only point. And we will talk about the other cases also in subsequent stages. So just make a note of this before we proceed further, friends. Once you are done with it, let me know so that we can move ahead. Okay. So this is a particular case where the angle between the two vectors will be 0. Okay. So I believe I should assume that you are done with it. Somebody is putting it in the chat box now. Okay. Hopefully done. Have you noted it down, friends?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so
Yes, sir. Okay.
okay. So this is a specialized case, okay, for the first type of multiplication of vector where the angle between the two vectors is 0 specifically. Okay, now let's change the angle then. Not necessarily every time it will be 0. So now it can change. Okay, we will be placing a different analysis now for the changed angle. So let's understand that also. Yeah, so let's put a partition over here. Okay. Let's say instead of 0, if the two vectors are perpendicular, the angle between the two vectors will be 90 degrees in that case. And we all know cos 90 is 0. Unlike cos 0, 1, we should know, we are aware that cos 90 is 0. So in that case, the dot product will be represented as, please concentrate, okay, very crucial step. So A bar dot B bar, obviously here we are talking about two different vectors because the angle between them is 90. A bar और A bar के बीच में angle कभी भी 90 नहीं होगा. Okay, so these are two different vectors. So let's say A bar dot B bar is 90. Then in that case, magnitude, it will be magnitude of A multiplied by magnitude of B multiplied by cos of 90. But cos of 90 is 0, so 0 multiplied by anything will be 0. So you can see the dot product is 0. So can I say if the two vectors are perpendicular to each other, then the dot product between them will be 0. Converse
Zero.
of that, converse of that will be if the dot product is 0, then we can ensure that we can remain assured that the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so that will be the converse of it. Now, if you try to imagine I, J, and K, which are the unit vectors along X, Y, and Z axis. So the angle between X and Y axis is 90, Y and Z is 90, X and Z is 90. So with the angle between corresponding angle between I, J, K subsequently will be 90. So they are perpendicular to each other. So let's say what the situation says. Okay, so I bar dot J bar will be, as per our definition, magnitude of J cap, okay, magnitude of K cap. So all these things you can see. I dot J angle is 90, J dot K angle between them is 90, K dot I the angle between them is 90. We all know because the mutual angle between X, Y, Z and XZ axis is 90 degrees. They are perpendicular to each other. So then in that case, can I say if I work out the dot product because the angle is 90 between all this, I say the dot product will be 0. So I can make a general statement then I cap dot J cap or J cap dot K cap or K cap dot I cap will be 0. Unlike I cap dot I cap equal to J cap dot J cap equal to K cap dot K cap equal to 1. This is something which you need to remember while solving problems because theta is 90 over here. Okay. Now if I want angle theta in this case, so angle theta will be given as, if the definition you can see A bar dot B bar is AB cos, instead of 90 let's put it as theta. So cos theta will be given as A bar dot B bar divided by, you can see, A into magnitude of A bar multiplied by magnitude of B bar. This is how you can actually find out the angle between the two vectors, friends. That is cos theta. All right. So let's please make a note of this. Very, very important slide, friends. So important thing which comes out of this slide is if two vectors are perpendicular to each other, then their dot product or the scalar product will be 0. Once you note it down, let me know so that we move ahead, we proceed further. Yeah, so most of you,
Done, sir.
yeah, most of you said that. So then let's proceed further. Let's move ahead. Okay, got it. So let's actually take a scalar product of two vectors now. Okay, so the time has come to actually take a scalar product. So for that we would be needing two vectors, say A bar and B bar. Okay. So A bar in three dimensions, just now I have told you how to represent it in three dimensions. Ax I cap plus Ay j cap plus Az k cap, where I, j and k cap are the unit vectors along x, y and z axis. This is how a vector is represented in three dimensions. Similarly, B bar will be represented as Bx I cap plus By j cap plus Bz k cap. So now I have two vectors and I have to take a dot product between them or the scalar product between them. So let's move ahead and let's proceed the calculations. So A bar dot B bar in this case will be given as bracket A bar multiplied by bracket B bar in 3 dimensions. That means there are 3 terms which are to be multiplied by 3 terms. So 3 into 3 means we are going to actually get 9 terms over here. And one has to be very conscious about it. Okay, so I'm just starting the operation of multiplication over here. Please pay attention. Be focused on this. Okay, let's move ahead. Now, friends, so A bar dot B bar. In that case, the first term is, you can see, I cap dot J cap. Okay, because if I'm multiplying AX dot BX, then it should be I cap dot I cap, right? Isn't it? It should be I cap dot I cap. AX BX. So you have to make that correction. Okay, here instead of J cap, it should be I cap dot I cap. Okay, that correction has to be made. And then after that bracket, you can put AX BX, the first term, plus second term. Let's talk about the second term. Now in the second term, you can see it will be AY or AX being multiplied by the second term. So it will be I dot J. Okay. So AX being multiplied by the second term. I dot J. Let's put it that way. You can see I dot J in this case. Again, I show you with the arrow. I dot J. You can see AX BY. Okay, after the bracket we will place it. AX BY. Here also has to be corrected. Okay, here it should be AX BY, not AY BX, because we are multiplying AX by it. Okay, so AX BY. Okay, so AX BY. Correct that. Then the third term will be AXI dot BZK. Okay, so let's say plus K cap dot something K cap. Okay, first what we did, I cap dot I cap. Okay, then I cap dot J cap. Okay, then the third term should be, if you are multiplying AX by BZ, then it should be K cap dot J cap, but then the term should be AZ BY. Okay, so what they have done is they have multiplied by, let's understand this sequence. Okay, once again, friends. So AX multiplied by BX, similarly AY multiplied by BX and AZ multiplied by BX. That's what they have done. What I was trying to tell you is AX being multiplied by this entire bracket, we are just following it other way around. So it's okay, like it's one and the same, no problem. So let's move ahead. Okay, I'll just show you once again. Okay, let's move ahead. Again, I repeat the multiplication. You can see AX multiplied by BX will be I cap dot I cap, the first term. Here instead of J cap, it should be I cap. The second term is AY multiplied by BX. So AY BX as it is, and what remains is J cap dot I cap, which can be commutative. So I cap dot J cap here. Third, AZ BX, you can see AZ BX. All right, you can see AZ BX over here, friends. So AZ BX means K dot I. Okay, so here it should be K dot I. Here instead of J it should be I. Here also instead of J it should be I. This is the first term, BX being multiplied by this entire bracket. Now will come the second term, BY being multiplied by this entire bracket. Okay. Hopefully you have understood the corrections. Here instead of J it should have been I cap. Here instead of J it should have been I cap. Okay, so just make that correction. Okay? So this is how you have multiplied the first term, friends. Now let's talk about the second term. So you can see bx being multiplied by the bracket entirely. Second term will be given by by being multiplied by this first bracket entirely. So let's see how you can put it. Okay, let's move ahead. Just give me a moment. Yeah, plus. Now let's understand ij. Okay, so look here. Now I am trying to multiply by by this bracket. So what is the first term? I and j. Okay, I cap dot j cap. Okay, and the coefficients are ax by. Okay, here it should be by. Okay, remember that. Okay, the coefficient should be by. It's not missing over here. Okay, so ax and by. Okay, then I can get it. Okay, plus second term. If you try to understand by being multiplied by ay, so j cap dot j cap, and the coefficients would be ay by. Okay, so that's correctly mentioned over there. The third term, if you try to understand, by being multiplied by az, that means k cap dot j cap. Okay, that should be the third term. So k cap dot j cap is the third term, and obviously the coefficients in that case az and by. Let's put it. Okay, it should not be equal to multiplied by az by. Okay, so here instead of equal to, it should be az by. Okay, it should be by. So in the second row, what's the correction, friends? Here you're supposed to add by over here, ax by, and here instead of equal to sign, it should be multiplication az by. Here it should be by. So that's the correction. Okay, so please make that. Now we will multiply bz, the third term, by this entire first bracket. All right. So let's see how the terms can be arranged. Okay, now when I'm multiplying it, you can see k and I, they are coming into picture. So I cap dot k cap would be in the bracket. And what are the coefficients then? ax bz. Okay, yeah, so they are rightly mentioned over here. Ax and bz. Now this third term has to be multiplied by the second term over here. Okay, so let's see. Plus. Now what is that second term? K and j. Okay, so j cap dot k cap, because it is commutative. J cap dot k cap, friends. And what should be the coefficients over here then? Coefficients should be ay bz. That's being mentioned over there. And then the final term, friends, you can see you multiply bz k cap to az k cap. So k cap dot k cap would be there in the bracket. You can see k cap dot k cap, and what are the coefficients? Obviously az bz. So in this entire multiplication, friends, where you have multiplied the two brackets, the corrections are, I'm just showing you with the arrows. You can see here instead of j cap, it should have been I cap. All right, and okay, here also instead of j cap, it should have been I cap. Here ax के साथ चाहिए था by should be here. All right, here no equal to sign, it should be multiplication sign, and instead of az bx, this should have been az by. All right, so everywhere it should be by as the second term. Everywhere it should be bx as the first term for the first row. For the second row, everywhere it should be by as the second term, you can see. And obviously for the third row, everywhere bz will be the third term. Okay, so here also no equal to sign, it should be multiplication. So with these corrections, please make a note of this slide, and then I'll tell you how this equation gets compressed. So hopefully you have understood the corrections, and hopefully you have understood how I have multiplied it. So please put it in the chat box so that I get ensured about it, and then we move ahead. So very crucial step. Yeah. So most of you say done. Okay. So hopefully you have understood the corrections also. Now just try to understand one interesting thing over here. We all know I cap dot I cap. This was I cap, right? So I cap dot I cap is 1. but I cap dot j cap is 0. K cap dot j cap is 0. So first row, the first term will be 1, the other two terms will be 0. Similarly, I cap dot j cap in the second row will be 0.
Manzar. Manzar.
K cap, Soham, please put your mic on a mute mode. If you want to say something, please let me know. I cap dot j cap will be 0. You can put it as 0 over here. J cap dot j cap will be 1. K cap dot j cap will be 0. Here you can see again I cap dot k cap is 0. This is something which you have studied. J cap dot k cap will be 0, but k cap dot k cap will be 1. So out of the 9 terms from the 3 rows, only 3 terms will prevail. 1, this is the second term j cap dot j cap, and the third term k cap dot k cap. Other terms will become 0. So whenever I simplify a bar dot b bar, I'll get it as, okay. So hopefully as per your messages, you are done with noting this slide. Okay. Ananya is asking me to explain the last step again. Okay. For everybody now, please concentrate. Very crucial step. Hopefully you have understood the multiplication, Ananya. Just unmute and say yes, then we move ahead.
Yes,
Ananya,
sir.
yeah, you have understood the multiplication and the corrections, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, interesting thing. In the previous slide, we have proved na I cap dot I cap will be 1, but I cap dot j cap will be 0. Two vectors are perpendicular. Similarly, k cap dot j cap will be 0. So in one row, only one term exists. Similarly, in the second row, this term will be 0, this term will be 0, this term will be there. Again, one term exists. Third row, you can see this term will become 0, this term will become 0, and this term is 1. So from every row, 1, 2, and 3, only these 3 terms exist. Other terms become 0. Did you understand that, Ananya?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So hopefully you're done with it so that I can show you the next slide. Then a bar dot b bar can be represented as, okay, let's move ahead. Give me a moment. Yeah, we all know this. Okay, this is something which we have proved right now. So a bar dot b bar would be first row से आ जाएगा ax bx multiplied by 1. Second row you will get the term as ay by multiplied by 1, and third row az bz multiplied by 1. So in a way, if you want to take a dot product of two vectors, you can just do it this way. A bar dot b bar will be ax multiplied by bx plus ay multiplied by by plus az multiplied by bz. So we have proved a formula where we can take a dot product of two vectors. Please make a note of it. Once you are done with it, let me know. Okay, so most of you say done. Okay. So today we have understood how to multiply the vectors, two vectors, in the first way. Okay, that is the